Okay, everyone, so this is important for you to understand, and I'll post the pictures of these balance sheets later, but it's easier if I just go over in a video because it's a lot. So here we go. So you see, this is December 2019. This is Regions Bank. I can tell you why I know that later, but this is when we were using Regions Bank, when we had the correct format, which was a joint bank account with one HOA Homes Board person and one HOA Villas. So Regions Bank, you see in 2019, we have 22,700 and change in our general operating fund. And then we have 36,900 in our reserves. So just kind of make a mental note. You might want to jot those numbers down. We got a year later. Here's our balance sheet. Again, this is for the Rainbury Recreation Governing Board. They're a governing board. This is still Regions Bank, and there's 34,000 and then 47,000 in reserves. Now, if you look here, the current assets, there's this line item. They always kind of put our total assets. 2019, it was 59,000. 2020, it was 81,000. We had quite a lot go up in that December. Okay, these are just snapshots, so let's keep going. December 2021 gets really interesting because now we have two more bank accounts on our asset list, and these are South State operating, and South State MM stands for money market. That means South State is the for-profit recreation board's private bank account. So why they list up on our recreation governing board documents, we don't know yet why, but this is very unusual. And the region still has some money in it in 2021. So it makes it kind of split up. So from last year, you see this is Regions Bank, and then the Regions Bank is the top ones, and then they add some to the South State Recreation Board. Again, it's not normal to be giving community money to a private entity. The Recreation Governing Board was just around to govern our assets, to repair and replace, and to send the joint bank account, the HOAs, a bill. It wasn't supposed to have our money in their account. They can have their own account, but they shouldn't be putting our money in it. So I don't know who did this, but it was certainly board members for sure that had something to do with this. At this year, 2021, you see that they siphon or give, I don't know exactly, I shouldn't say siphon, that's the only word I can think of. Of course, we don't want to make any accusations, but it's very, very weird that there are now 4 bank accounts, and now they say that the total assets are 76,000. So last year, 81, now we have 76, but we have 4 bank accounts. 2022, things get real interesting because 2022, June 2022, we no longer have 4 bank accounts. Now we only have 2. And this is the year that they closed our joint bank account at Regions that we have confirmation of. We don't know why they did that, and it is absolutely against our docs to have the money in the rec board's bank account. It's supposed to be in a joint bank account. There was nothing in our docs that say that we are supposed to have anything in the rec board bank account, because there was no rec board bank account before they incorporated. So now we see all of their money. So now they have all of the community money. This private entity, this for-profit entity that doesn't take questions at meetings, that doesn't run under 720 HOA, has membership money. This is not the correct way to do things. And you see that they have current assets, 70,000. So again, I'm just gonna go back. We had 76,000 over here in December. 6 months later, there's 70,000. Of course, you know, there's operating funds. Something I did find odd is that they started this column of other assets. So this is true. A prepaid asset could be $2,000 of pest control. So they put that under assets, which it's not that that's wrong. It's just a little odd, you know, because it makes it look like we have more money than we do. But that's not a completely wrong practice. But let's just keep going. Okay, so now when we did our records request, we got no information on 2023, none at all. So we had to go to the treasurer's report in the minutes of the rec board on December 20th, 2023. This is what the treasurer reports. And this now goes operating is 15,900 and the reserves is 8,500. That's a big difference from 2022. Again, I'm just reporting the facts here. I'm not accusing anyone of anything. 2022, just 6 months earlier, they had 48,900 in reserves, and now in December, they only have 8,500 in reserves. So that's very strange. Additionally, they have a line of credit that they owe. This is a loan of $38,000. This was about those paving the roads, whatnot. But if you really look at this from afar, we lost $40,000 in reserves. When I say lost, it's just somewhere we don't know where that is. And then we have an additional $38,000 in loans. That's $78,000 difference. That really causes me to ask a lot more questions, right? So remember, a line of credit, of course, is a loan, basically that they have to repay back. So 2022, we lost our bank accounts. So let's see, 2021, we had our joint bank account, but we also started having money in the rec board's bank account. 2022, they closed the region's joint bank account, the proper one that we have in our docs explained that we should have for the rec board. Instead of the rec board having our money, it's never been displayed that way, that we should be having the rec board having our money and sending us an invoice. It's actually supposed to be the rec board sending us the invoices, and then the 2 HOA board members in the joint bank account would sign off on it. So back to 2023. So it appears, this is just what it appears from the numbers that we've gotten from the treasurer's report, because we didn't get any balance sheet from 2023 in our records request. It would appear that we have a $78,000 question mark, I guess. Okay, now we have, let's see, 3 months later. I've never seen the operating fund this low, $295. Again, the Regions Bank is gone. There's $8,600 in reserves. And then they have other assets. And this is the repaving loan. Sorry, if you can see that repaving loan. So they've paid a couple $1,000s off, but they put the repaving loan in the assets column. And then that goes and shows that we have 39,000 assets. But no one I speak to can explain why you would put a loan in the assets column. That is not the best practice for any accounting practices that they have. So that is very odd. That should not be in an assets column as far as we can tell. And you see there's a lot of change here. So we have a loan. We don't know where the 40,000 reserves went. And then we come here and now we've got very low operating snapshot here. And then they put the loans in the asset column. Very odd. So that's important to realize. And then we have the balance sheet of July 2024. They're back up to 11,000 or 11,000, almost 12,000 in operating, and 8,000 in reserves. Of course, they're still counting this as assets, and I'm sorry, I can't remember where our December 2024 is for the balance sheet, but you can find it, and from memory, I'm almost positive it is the reserves are about 5,000. Oh yeah, from December 2024, it's in our lawyer's letter, 61,000 in loans, and it had 5,000 in reserves, and I think it had somewhere around 10,000 in operating. So very important to follow the money. I will take pictures of this. You tell me what you think. Of course, no accusations can be made, but it is very important that we understand these snapshots are worthy of questions, and we really want to make sure we get the answers. So that's something that we've been working on, and I hope you'll help us work on that. If you have any 2023 reports from the rec board, we would love to have them. Thanks so much.